Yeah, I'm going down swinging.
I'm amazed they've not shot you yet.
How are you still alive? What's going on?
What's that guy upstairs doing? Go away, go on, get out.
No way.
Pop him in the head.
Pop him in the head with what?
You got a gun.
I don't want to waste a bullet.
Yeah, but you're going to finish this if you pop him in the head.
That's a nice head. He's got a thing on there.
The head's on top of the shoulders.
Oh no, there's a guy over there. Oh god. God.
Charge him.
Oh god. Can I jump through the window?
I cannot believe you're still alive.
I
It
can't.
feels like it's not ungrounded. It's been so kind to you.
I did definitely put it on grounded, didn't I? I'm not going to unease it.
Okay.
Oh no.
After all that.
Sorry. I tried to fix God's sake.
That clip was a taster of our YouTube Let's Play series Clickbait. What you just heard was Matt trying and spectacularly failing to play The Last of Us on grounded difficulty. We had a good time making it, and we hope you enjoyed it too. I'll post a link below the episode description. On with the show.
Welcome to the show, we talk about real film movies, which are both the same thing, but we'll talk about the news and reviews and your views on film and TV, and comic books too. We'd love to hear from you. We hope you enjoy it too. So subscribe to Real Film Podcasts and Review.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Real Film Podcast. I'm your host Rob, and as always I'm joined by my co-host Matt to discuss the latest in film, TV, games and comics. Before we get into the show this week, Matt and I would like to point you in the direction of our YouTube channel, where there's a little Let's Play series going on. And we think it's pretty good. It's called Clickbait, and it's basically us just playing The Last of Us, really, but on the highest difficulty level. And I think people might like it, so I'll link it below, and you can check it out. Also, want to point in people's direction to an essay that you wrote, Matt, on the site about one of the best sci-fi movies we've seen in quite a while.
One of the best films I've seen in a while. But
True.
Don't call it an essay. It makes it sound really long.
It is a bit like an essay.
It's a discussion piece.
Discussion piece. Some content.
There's some minor political things in it, but
Oh,
it's interesting.
people don't like politics, Matt.
People
Let's
do
make
like
it sound fun.
It is fun.
There's some banter in it.
Expand your mind. Yeah, there's some little bits of banter. Some
That's
sarcasm. It's all good.
Oh.
What can you want from an article?
An essay.
An essay, yeah.
So that's on the site. Anyway, should we do some news?
What's been going on in the news? What's been going on in the movie news? Well, that actor you like's done another thing. There's a few more reboots and a sequel too. And that other guy got caught with some cocaine. It's the news.
So this week, we'd planned to record this podcast on like Saturday or Sunday, and it's probably a good job we didn't, because since our original date of recording, two pretty interesting trailers dropped on the internet.
They did indeed.
Do you want to tell people about the first one?
The Last of Us 2.
No, I was going to say Guardians first, but
Okay. Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
it's very important we do it in the right order.
Yeah. Guardians of the Galaxy 2 trailer. Well, full trailer? Yeah.
Well, it's not, is it? It's a teaser, because it's only like a minute and a half, I think, isn't it?
Okay. So, what was the one we had before?
That was not a teaser, apparently, according to James Gunn.
Oh, yeah, I remember
He explicitly said that was not a teaser.
Even though it was.
It was definitely a teaser, yeah.
It's a teaser for a teaser.
Yeah.
Yeah. What did you think? Do you like it?
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm kind of the same.
it's just
But
kind
I
of,
know
it's exactly what I expected it to be. So yeah, good.
Too much Baby Groot?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's my biggest concern, is that Baby Groot's just going to become like a minion.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
he's just going to be a meme, and it's just... I kind of have more faith in James Gunn than that. Like,
Yeah, be too concerned about it.
hopefully this is just like the marketing, like they're just marketing it this way to get like idiots in.
Yeah. If it was like George Lucas doing it, you'd go, yeah.
You'd worry, yeah. Or anyone else, to be honest. If it was just like a Marvel minion director,
Yeah.
like they had sort of during Phase 1, then kind of, yeah, I'd be worried. But I think James Gunn has more integrity than that.
Is there enough Drax in this trailer?
I think there's too much Drax.
you think they're going to put all these jokes in the trailers?
I don't know, because that was the best thing about Guardians 1 for me, was like,
The
there's
House of
nothing.
Cards.
You had no idea what Drax was at. He's like, oh, they've got this wrestler guy in, and you sort of think, well, that's a weird decision. And then he turned out to be hilarious. But the great thing was, not like I don't think hardly any of those jokes were actually in the trailer, so it was a total surprise when we got it.
Yeah. Whereas we've already had. I mean, I thought the jokes were pretty funny, but
I thought the one at the end was a bit over the top.
yeah, it depends what the context is. I think again, because it's one of those ones that seems a bit out of the blue. If it's and then there's a problem with trailers sometimes that they put scenes in that out of context just seem very bizarre and over the top.
Yeah.
Especially with a world like Guardians of the Galaxy, which does take some getting used to. In like a minute and a half clip, you don't exactly get immersed overly much into the film. So,
True.
but I love Drax. Drax is a
Drax is good.
cool guy.
I'm surprised at kind of the Peter Quill and Gamora kind of relationship thing that seems to be pushing quite hard.
Again, though, is that the marketing thing? Maybe it's not as big deal as.
Yeah, it's been the end of both trailers, though, hasn't it?
Yeah, has I suppose. I mean, maybe one of them's going to die or something, and they're trying to ramp it up.
Yeah, they're going to kill off Chris Pratt.
Well, no, they might kill off Gamora.
Maybe.
That could be interesting.
Could be.
By the time we get to Infinity War, because obviously she's the adopted daughter of Thanos.
Yeah, true. I'd rather
he's-
kill Karen Gillan, though, to be honest.
Oh, yeah.
She's not
Yeah,
very
definitely.
good.
Nope, she's not. And she went bald for the part. Oh,
It's like,
poor girl.
do you know, this time she's been saying something like, oh, I'm glad I didn't have to shave my head this time. And you just go, you didn't really have to shave your head last time.
Yeah.
You can wear a
You
ball
can-
cap.
Yeah, and plus you like painted blue, so it's not like it would show up as a bald cap.
Yeah,
It's just, oh well.
that's very
She
bizarre.
seems like a nice lady, a nice
does.
woman.
She does.
So, I think that might be actually the problem, that Nebula's supposed to be a horrible person, and you don't
Yeah,
really
don't buy it.
because Karen Gillan's a really nice, smiley person.
Yeah, possibly. It's one of those things where it's exactly what I did like about it. Actually, is it gave pretty much nothing away about the plot.
Yeah, definitely a good thing. I think the marketing for Guardians of the Galaxy has to be more on that sort of stuff now, like Groot and Drax and everything, and they were the surprisingly successful thing. You just think, oh, these trailer companies are going, everybody loved that, let's put some more of that in the trailer. So you just sort of hope that, as you say, it is the trailer company just doing that rather than
Yeah,
the entirety of the film doing it. But yeah, good to see a trailer actually not revealing the whole plot,
it's always good.
which I might get onto when we talk about what we've seen this week.
Oh, very exciting.
Exciting indeed.
Yeah,
When's
it's not.
Guardians out?
Sorry.
When's Guardians out?
This is off
I'll
the
type it.
top of my head. Totally off the top of my head. Totally. April. It's pretty close.
Pretty close.
April the 25th. Probably a few days earlier, I guess, over here. Usually is, isn't it?
Yeah, that should be fun.
Yeah,
Good
should be
stuff.
fun. You
Looking
know,
forward to-
apparently Vin Diesel's still voicing Groot. And you just
Maybe.
think, like, what's the point?
I don't know, because it's Vin Diesel, isn't it?
Do you think he's running around in a nappy, like, all week or something while he's doing it?
Just
Full method.
I think he might have just wandered into the studio and gone, all right, mate, to do the voicing, and probably had the part to tell him that he wasn't needed. So
I can kind of see that, yeah.
So they just put him in a booth again and let him spend 2 weeks being Baby Groot.
But he loved that.
Yeah, but he just followed James Gunn round for about a week.
Just going,
Pretend to be his baby.
hi, I'm Groot.
I am Groot.
Just dressed as like a bush, just chasing him around.
Yeah. Put in a nappy.
Yeah. That's exactly what happened.
Somebody draw that for us. Draw Vin Diesel dressed as a bush with a nappy on.
In the arms of
James Gunn.
James Gunn. Great
Or
stuff.
maybe don't, because I don't want nightmares.
Yeah, maybe. Should we get on to the second trailer then this week?
Yeah, because this one's much more exciting.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Yeah.
And I'm surprised as well. I didn't know this was happening.
I don't think anyone did, really, did they?
And it tied perfectly into our Let's Play series,
It did.
which we mentioned before. And this is the trailer for The Last of Us Part 2. Which
Looks awesome.
looks awesome. It's such a good trailer as well, because
Yeah.
it teases stuff that's happened. Like, it's a few years later, isn't it? I think Ellie's supposed to be 19 in this. I've read
Yes,
somewhere.
It's quite a few years
So it's
later.
been, how old is she? 14?
Yeah. Yeah, so it's been 5 years
Yeah.
since the events of The Last of Us.
I think she's obviously kind of
She's
gone a bit rogue.
on a journey.
Yeah, violent journey full of killing people. Now, do you reckon she's trying to kill? Obviously, the trailer's of her playing a guitar, singing a song, and we sort of see like bodies, and we see Joel kind of walk into the house and be like, "What have you done?"
Yeah.
And then she says, something like, "I'm going to kill them. I'm going to kill every last one of them."
She says, "I'm going to find them and I'm going to kill every last one of them," or something like that. Something along those lines.
Is that the Fireflies? Do you think?
It could be, yeah. I mean, I think that's it, isn't it? It's sort of left.
Because I guess the reason that she went through a lot of shit was because of them.
Yeah, I mean, spoilers for The Last of Us.
True.
I don't know, because, yeah, she went through a lot of bad stuff because of them. But what would she have got revenge before now? If she,
Yeah, possibly.
if it's them,
Who knows?
almost disapproving in the trailer.
Say that bit again. It cut out.
As a Joel seems a bit disapproving in the trailer.
Yeah, no, it does.
And he's by no means seems to have any objection to killing bad people, and he obviously thought what the Fireflies doing was wrong at the end of The Last of Us 1. So I don't know. Looks good though.
Like, looks amazing. Like, it's so good how they made her look older, but like that moment where like you get close up of her eyes and it's just and Joel's just voice. You don't even need to see Joel's face. You just need to tell by like his silhouette and just that voice. So good.
Yeah, it's
So
really
excited
good.
for that.
I don't know when that's out. When's that out?
I think 2018 at the earliest.
So
yeah.
long.
I'd rather they'd like just
Oh yeah, did it right.
get it
Definitely.
right. But I hope they've got a decent story to tell.
It
And they're
looks,
not just doing
looks
it.
like it, because I don't think Naughty Dog are that kind of company really that just churn them out.
Yeah.
You actually look at their back catalogue of games and it's really, really small. So I think they do really take the time on the games, and they only make games that they want to make. I don't think they make anything based on any sort of outside world pressures,
Hope not.
which is like they could have like when was The Last of Us originally out? They could have got this out so much sooner if it was just a money making scheme.
True.
Do you know what I mean? They could have just churned, like they've done quite a lot of Uncharted's. There's like 4 of them, so they kind of are capable of churning out a really good game quickly, which they could have done. So it kind of bodes well that they've waited this long to bring out this sequel.
Yeah, do you think Ellie will be the playable character, or will it be Joel again? I know you get to play as Ellie as for a bit of it, but
Maybe Ellie, because I think.
But if she's like from that trailer, you're watching the trailer from Joel's perspective, though.
Yeah, true.
You're looking at like being like, oh, what has she been doing? She's obviously
Yeah, it sounds like it's going to be Ellie's story though,
but through Joel's eyes again. So that was what the first one was.
Yeah, it depends. Because obviously, so much about that Last of Us 1 is Joel's kind of, almost coming to terms, not fully like with his daughter's death and everything, and realizing that he can still care for other people,
Realizing that you can just replace her with a different girl instead.
Yeah, pretty much. No, but you know what I mean. He can still care for somebody else, apart from his daughter and everything.
And you still get the same disappointment when she turns out to be an absolute psychopath.
Yeah, pretty much. But what's left for his story, sort of thing.
Yeah.
But it might be we watch Ellie's story through Joel's eyes, but who knows?
That'd be cool.
Maybe Ellie will be the villain.
I hope not, because that made me so sad. I got a bit sad watching. It made me a bit depressed because I was like, oh, she's supposed to be the good person. It looks like she's just killing people.
Yeah, but they probably deserve it.
Probably, but
she kills people in The Last of Us.
yeah, she does. But you kind of feel like they deserve it. This one feels like if Joel's not happy about it,
Well,
I feel like I'm disappointed as well.
Because he just sort of says, "Are you sure you? What did he say? What you doing, kiddo?
Yeah.
Or something like, you sure you want to do this?" So I think he's not like, he's not going, "Don't do it, you're an idiot." He's just kind of going, "Think about this. This is what you really want to do."
Yeah, maybe it's because it's too dangerous.
Yeah, maybe it's really dangerous. Like, do you really want to do this? And we both might die, sort of thing.
Yeah. No, it's true. I'm so excited for that.
I know, but another 2 years yet.
I know, I could die before that comes out, or anything could happen, couldn't it?
I know, yeah.
It's depressing.
Pretty depressing.
Anyway, is that all the news?
That's all the news.
Did you see the Thor Ragnarok poster?
No. I did not know that there was a Thor
There's
Ragnarok.
a Thor Ragnarok poster, which is pretty cool. It's got Hulk in like the Planet Hulk like armor, and Thor's got his helmet on. And he's got like 2 swords and stuff. It's really cool.
Neat. I'll try and find it while we talk.
I'll move on then to the next segment of the show,
Yeah.
which is our review section.
Guess we went to the cinema this week. We saw some films and we watched some Netflix. Listen up to our ill-informed opinions, and then go and see it all anyway. Because who knows, not us, but we'll rate it anyway.
Do you want to know what film I saw this week, Matt?
Yeah.
I know you already know this, but I saw Patterson this week.
You did see Patterson this week. Tell me how much you love Patterson and the poetry of it.
Oh, man.
I've only heard really good things about
I
this
know.
film.
This is why I went to see it, because everyone was like, oh, Empire Podcast was like 4 stars, but I wish I'd given it 5. Guardian gave it 5 stars. Empire Podcast a week later also said 5 stars. And I've never been so bored. And Hattie's dad really liked it. Everyone was recommending it. But it's like, it's so dull. It's so pretentious and so dull. There's no anything. There's just nothing. There's nothing going on. There's no character development. There's no real character. There's nothing there. There's not even any good poet. Like, it's quite nicely shot. I'll start. What it's about. It's about a guy called Patterson who lives in Patterson, who's a bus driver, who writes poems on his bus every morning before he goes driving around on his little bus routes. And then he writes a bit of poetry at lunch when he looks at the waterfall. And then he goes home, gets tea with his really, really, really annoying wife, then takes the dog out for a walk and stops off for a pint. And you sort of think, oh, that's nice for like Monday, Tuesday. Oh, but then it's all going to go horribly wrong on Wednesday, and he's going to have to deal with situations and stuff. And then nothing happens for the whole week. And he gets to Thursday and you're like, just please end the film. Please end this film. You know, it's one of those things where you have a marker and you're like, oh, I'm like halfway through. I just need this to end right now. It's so boring. Like, there's just... Adam Driver's great in it. There's like a cool... There's like a few... there's nothing like wrong with it as a piece of filmmaking, really. It's nicely shot. It's well written. Adam Driver, like I said, is really good. He's got a few really nice little scenes.
Yeah.
That are like on their own in isolation are really nice, but don't really make a film. Which is kind of weird. And there's poetry. I'm not a poetry fan. I'm not even close to being anyone in the know about poetry. But Hattie did poetry at uni as part of her creative writing course, and even she was just like, I don't even know what's going on here. Because the poetry's just like, he's like describing a matchbox. He's like, this is a box of matches. These are my favourite matches. They are blue. It sounds like a computer trying to say stuff. It's just like he's written a description of a matchbox, like a child would, but then kind of put, like, just pressed enter in random points in the poem, just to kind of make it sound like a poem rather than just a body of words. It's really weird. I just don't get it. Like, maybe people like that. I don't know. I don't know. But
that's what I mean. Maybe you just didn't get it, Rob.
Well, obviously I didn't, because other people have given it 5 stars. But I just didn't find it interesting. Like, I went into this thinking this could be like Inside Llewyn Davis, which is a film also about like one guy and his sort of everyday sort of life, sort of struggles. But that's full of like charming and interesting characters, and there's conflict, and not even like real conflict, just like silly conflict that's just really funny to watch. And this is really annoying because his wife as well is like a stay-at-home wife, and she's just like every day she's trying to pursue a different dream, and she like convinces him to buy her a guitar and stuff just because she watched a YouTube video, and she's just like really spoiled and kind of like, oh well, this is what I want to do today, regardless of kind of. She just sounds really annoying. It seems like when Adam Driver's talking to her, he's like being really patronising to her and condescending to her.
Yeah.
And I kind of thought at some point that would get some sort of. I don't know whether that was my interpretation of watching him talk to her, or whether that was an intentional part of the film or not. Whether that was just what I felt towards her, so I was kind of sort of putting that on Adam Driver's character. I don't know. I don't know if that was intentional, but anyway, I was still like, is he going to just flip out and be like, can you fuck off, go out and get a job, please, or something at some point? But none of that happened. He just kind of kept with her, even though she's really obnoxious and horrible and annoying. Well, she's not horrible. She seems like a nice person, but she seems like really irritating.
Yeah.
I didn't get it. Didn't get it. I was so disappointed. It's a film that I really wanted to like, and I was just like, I don't know what this is. Don't know what it is. It's sad.
It's a shame.
It is a shame.
Yeah, I probably won't go and see that one then.
Well, you might enjoy that. Loads of people have enjoyed it, so I don't.
Yeah, it's strange because I know the Empire podcast, one of them said, "Oh, I really enjoyed it, but if people don't like films, and their example was films like Lost in Translation, then they won't really like this." But I really, really like Lost in Translation. So, but then, kind of, I'm not a huge like I kind of like poetry, but not like really abstract poetry, like what you were just saying. I mean, I'm not a poetry fan by any means, but I can appreciate it. But the way that you've just been describing it is the sort of stuff that I just go, what?
But it's like the thing is, it's not like I don't like understand even what the poetry's saying. I'm just like, you're just saying normal descriptive words.
It's not saying anything.
Yeah, that's what I don't understand. Maybe that's the beauty in it. I don't know. Someone tell me if I'm wrong. I don't know. Write in and tell me how I don't understand how a botch of matches is significant somehow to life. It could be a metaphor for life, couldn't it? I don't know. Maybe
it's fire of life.
Maybe.
That dwindles for only a moment and then disappears.
I mean, that's more profound than anything anyone says in the film. I'm not even joking.
And I came up with that on the spot. I'm here all week, folks.
But you've also been to cinema this week.
I have also been to cinema.
And you were also disappointed.
I was also disappointed, but I don't think to the same extent that you were disappointed with your film. I went to watch Allied, the Robert Zemeckis' new film, starring Brad Pitt and Marion. How do you say your name? Coulthard?
Just mumble it and no one will notice.
And I just went on the off chance, I get free tickets, had a day off, and I went, yeah, it kind of looks like it could be a cool film. It's set in World War II, sort of an espionage sort of film. I'd watch the trailer and go, and that could be look like it was pretty good.
Yeah, I looked at the trailers and I I think there's a piece in Empire about it, like last Empire issue or something, and I thought that was pretty cool. Like that's like a really good idea for a film.
Yeah, but you've seen the trailer then, as you said.
Yeah.
So you've seen the whole film.
Yeah. Apparently.
Yeah, I mean, literally, I said this in my review. The only thing that's not in the trailer is the very end thing of, is she a German spy or not? That's the only thing it doesn't have in the trailer, in the whole film. Literally, the trailer is pretty much edited in chronological order as well. And it's just not tense. It's not by any means terrible. There's some good acting in it, and the score's really good. But for something that it should be a very, very tense film, because especially the last third where Brad Pitt's trying to find out if she is a German spy or not, because he's doing stuff, and the film should be making it seem like making you question whether she's a German spy or not as well.
Okay.
And it kind of doesn't do that very well.
Yeah.
You kind of sat there and just going, I don't really know, because it isn't. I mean, you could maybe commend it for not trying to mislead you in any way, but it just doesn't really sort of do anything to do with trying to make you think one way or even cloud your mind about what she is.
Okay.
And I don't know if it's because it's all in the trailer that I didn't find it very tense at all. Because like you think, okay, so it starts off with they're in Casablanca during World War II. They're both from separate like intelligence agencies, but they've been put together to assassinate this German official, and they've got to pretend to be husband and wife, and they've never met each other before. And they kind of fall in love, but you don't actually ever see anything on screen to indicate that they're falling in love.
Okay.
It's sort of, apart from a really, 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 really odd sex scene.
Oh, I heard about this, yeah. In the car.
Yeah, in the car, while there's a sandstorm going on around them. And the sandstorm's like getting stronger and stronger and buffering the car and stuff, and it's really odd.
Priorities.
And then they go and do the mission, and then they're driving away, and Brad Pitt just goes, "Come to London and be my wife."
That was the best shot I've ever had.
Yeah, and you just think there was no, like, I couldn't really. I think there was like one look that he gives her at some point where you go, "Oh, maybe he fancies her." But anyway, then there's this montage that I can't even really remember, and it's got the most ridiculous scene I've seen all year in it. And this is actually in the trailer as well. This is what I'm saying. Like, it sounds like I'm spoiling the film here for anybody that's not seen it. All of this is in the trailer. Even the sex scene in the car is in the trailer. Even the line where he says, "Come to London and be my wife." Even the bit where they assassinate the German official. That's all in the trailer.
Good stuff.
And so this most ridiculous scene is they're in the hospital. She's giving birth. The blitz is going on around them. Like, literally, the windows like shattering around them. They're like pushing her bed out because she's about to give birth. And then Brad Pitt picks her up and takes her out air raid shelter or anything. So then she's having a baby, so they put her down on a bed outside now. You think, might have been safer inside, but whatever. Then she has the baby, and everybody who's been evacuating and running from the bombs around them stops and starts clapping and like looking at them because they've just had a baby. And you just think, I want a bomb to land on you all right now because
I hate babies.
No,
I hate life, and I hate happiness.
And then, yeah, you kind of like buy their relationship a bit, and then it's just not very tense. That's the problem with it. It should be like a really, really tense film, and it isn't, which is a shame because it's really cool. It's a really good like espionage story, and it had two really good leads, and Robert Zemeckis is a good director, but I don't know how much of that is because it's all in the trailer that you know exactly where it's going the whole time. You just going, okay, yeah, that's that plot beat. Okay, how are we going to get to the next one? Well, it's not even like you're wondering how it's going to get to the next one. You just know how it's going to get there as well, I think. So yeah, I give it two stars for like not being a terrible film, but just being very forgettable and kind of failing to be tense, which for a thriller is pretty poor, really.
Yeah, not good.
Like the least, like as I said, I was kind of intrigued to see if she was a German spy or not, but I should have cared which way it went, and I didn't. I just want to see what happens now, because I've sat here for an hour and a half, so I kind of want to know if she is a spy or not.
Yeah.
That was a kind of it.
Not good.
No, not good at all.
It's a shame, isn't it?
It is a shame, yeah.
There's a few films out this week that are supposed to be alright. Birth of a Nation. Yeah. Empire have just given that 4 stars.
That should be good. I'm going to go and watch Sully, I think. Wednesday.
Solid. I bet that's going to be a solid 3, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, Tom Hanks is always good, though, isn't he? So
yeah, he is.
I think that'll be quite. I watched about 10 minutes of it today. This first 10 minutes, it looked quite good. What else is out?
That's a teenage comedy thing.
Oh yeah,
it's supposed to be surprisingly good.
I have seen a little bit of that as well. And that does look. It doesn't look too terrible.
I might see that. Yeah.
I need someone to go with, though, because
just get.
I can't really walk into my work and be like, "Can I have a ticket for Edge of 17, please?"
Just get a teenage girl and go with. Will that be creepier?
They'd be like, "Matt, what's wrong?" There was a guy on his own today, about mid-20s. He was a bit weird.
Maybe he's just having a good time. You shouldn't judge people.
No, but he looked a bit creepy as well. So
he had his hand down his pants the whole time.
Yeah, pretty much. No, I didn't. I might be going and watching. Well, I'm going and watching Disney's latest animation. Not my choice, but we're going to go and watch it on Wednesday. So, what's it called? Moana. It's all right. Review. It's supposed to be quite good.
It's a Hamilton guy, isn't it? It does the soundtrack.
Lin-Manuel Miranda. Yeah.
I kind of want to see that just because the Hamilton soundtrack's really good.
Yeah, and it's got Jermaine Clement as a big shiny crab.
Oh,
and he sings a song like Bowie from
Flight of the Conchords.
Flight of the Conchords, yeah. He sings a song like that.
Bowie's in space.
Yeah, so it's that sort of style, so it's pretty cool.
Oh, man.
It's got rock in it. The animation looks really, really good, actually. Like, really nice style and everything to it. And, yeah, it's cool. I've just thought this, because this is something else I've watched this week. Lin-Manuel Miranda's Houses, in the TV show Houses, Alvi, which is kind of really strange, because that's the first thing I'd ever seen him in, and then I saw a picture of him and I went, that's that guy from House. Has someone put the wrong pictures here? Because this guy's supposed to be like a musical genius.
Yeah.
And Googled it and I was like, oh my God, it's the same person.
He is a musical genius.
That's what I mean, but I couldn't believe it.
But look, it's really cool. Like if you watch that in retrospect now in House, like all these like raps and stuff.
Yeah, because that's what I mean. He raps really badly, but
yeah. Well, he like raps well. You can tell that he can do it, but his character obviously can't think of words and stuff. It's really cool.
Yeah, it's funny.
But yeah, it's really good. I'm
going to go and watch that on Wednesday night. I might go and watch Bleed for this as well at some point.
I want to see that.
So it's pretty cool with Miles Teller.
The most unlikable man alive.
I don't know yet. I think
he seems very like just not arsed.
Yeah, I think he sort of does what he wants and paint him in a bad light that way. I think people kind of want to not like him, I think. And he does play some quite unlikable characters, I think, as well, which doesn't always help.
Mr. Fantastic.
Yeah. I think people... He does seem a bit standoffish, but maybe you would be. I think a lot of actors are good at hiding it, aren't they, when they've been on a press junket for 8 hours a day. Maybe he's too bored to hide it sometimes. And people just paint him as a bit of an idiot because I've never actually heard him say anything really horrible. It's just sort of... It sometimes doesn't sound like he wants to be there, and to be fair, he probably doesn't. Probably want to be out with his mates rather than sitting answering the same questions for 9 hours a day. But
yeah, stop judging him.
Yeah, I'm going to watch that. I'll watch Sully at some point, and I'm going to watch Moana. So,
and then we've got Star Wars next week.
I'm doing the midnight showing.
I am not.
I am doing that, so that should be good. We'll probably have a whole podcast on that, I'm presuming, won't we?
Yeah, I might get a special guest on.
A special guest?
A Star Wars enthusiast, maybe.
Is it Adam Driver?
Yes, it is Adam Driver.
Oh,
And I'm
cool.
going to berate him about his shit poems all the time.
Oh, don't you mean? You probably didn't write the poems.
Might have done. Seems like that sort of thing he would do.
Yeah, it does. Don't you mean who actually is the special guest?
I don't know yet.
All right. I was going to say tell me and be out. And
I've got a few people who I can perhaps...
These your work friends?
Possibly. Maybe someone else. Maybe a non-work friend.
Ooh.
I think it'd be quite cool to do a big special Star Wars one.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
Or maybe...
Maybe I should take a microphone and record our opinions.
Yeah, do that.
A show in. When it's like 3 a.m, we're all knackered.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
What do you all think, guys? It's probably going to be good.
It might be good. It won't be bad.
No, it won't be bad. Well, Phantom Menace was bad. Attack of the Clones was bad.
Revenge of the Sith was bad.
Revenge of the Sith was slightly less bad.
Some of Return of the Jedi is bad.
Rogue One will be good. I'm good actually. I'm actually quite looking forward to it. I think it's gonna be good.
Okay, good. Let's move on to our main segment this week. And this week we're going to talk about Black Mirror.
Did you forget?
Yes.
Black Mirror it is.
Black Mirror, that's what we're doing. Too late to change our minds now.
Do you think it's good?
I do think it's good.
That's the end of the episode, guys.
That's the podcast.
Black Mirror is good.
Only good, though.
Only good.
Not great. No, it is great. There's a lot of, I think there's a lot of really good stuff in there.
There are some great episodes. There's a lot of average episodes, I feel.
I don't think there's any bad episodes.
No.
There's somewhere I was like, oh, this isn't really doing it for me, but I'll watch it and I'll be like, oh, that's quite an interesting thing.
Yeah. I think
But it does have that. It does kind of balance that tightrope of being trying to be very, very clever, and sometimes it goes tries to be too clever or too kind of we're making this point about stuff.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's like, oh, this is our opinion on this, and this is really bad. Sometimes it can be very one-sided.
Yeah, I think sometimes with it it's sort of, as you say, trying to be a bit too clever for itself and trying to send too much of a message, and the whole episode becomes about sending that message rather than here's a story with this message. It's just we're sending you a message, and you kind of sit there as a reasonably intelligent person going, yeah, I already kind of know what you're trying to say. I don't mean some TV show to tell me that. Which is kind of strange anyway, because so much of it is like being addicted to technology, and it's like, watch our TV show about being addicted to technology.
Well, Charlie Brooker used to be a games journalist, so he loves technology. I don't think he's in any way against technology. He just thinks that it's more like how we use it, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. How are we doing this? We're gonna.
Should we do my countdown?
Yeah, I think it's quite hard to. Are we just gonna go spoilers straight away? Because I think it's gonna get a bit.
I think so, yeah.
Isn't it?
I think you're kind of interested in it. I think the only way to discuss Black Mirror is really to discuss each individual episode and
the controversies behind those set episodes.
What we liked, what we didn't.
Yeah, let's dive into it then.
Let's dive into it. I'm going to start off as my least favourite episode. And I started with season 3 on Netflix. It's one of those things where each season came out on Channel 4 over here, I think. And I was like, oh, I need to watch that. And then I didn't. And then season 3 came out on Netflix, and I kind of jumped on there, so I did 3, and then 1, then 2. And so I'd, for years, have heard about the national anthem, which is my least favourite episode, which is one where the Prime Minister is blackmailed into having sex with a pig on live TV. And then obviously last year or the year before, there was that David Cameron thing where he stuck his dick in a pig for a joke or something at the university, because that's hilarious. And I was like, oh, Charlie Brooker couldn't tell the future, sort of thing. So I kind of had quite high hopes for this episode, I mean, to be fair, actually, this is the one that I actually actively disliked.
See, I can remember. I watched it before it was cool. I watched it when it did. First,
You need to grow a beard, Matt.
Yeah.
Get a top knot.
If only I could grow a beard. I remember
You
watching
can't
it.
because you're actually a woman.
Yeah. I can remember watching it when it first came out and just kind of liking it to a certain extent, and then kind of when it gets to the sort of, I was about to say the meaty end. Then that sounds.
Oh no, poor phrase.
When it gets to the
Very
sort of
poor
the end,
choice of words.
yeah, when it gets to like the end of the episode, I just didn't believe it.
That was my issue. I was like, "There's no way anyone would do this."
Trying to do, I think it just shouldn't have been like having sex with a pig. Like, so I think that was the part that doesn't kind of ring true. I don't know. It's kind of.
I don't think you could do that. Actually, if you went into that, I don't think you could actually do that.
No.
I know, like everyone's going to be, oh yeah, but he took a Viagra. That's not how Viagra works. Viagra just doesn't give you an instant erection. That's not how it works. You have to be aroused, and it keeps you there.
Yeah, it's not.
I didn't buy that you could do that, and no one would go through that. And like the public's opinion as well, where they kind of do that bit where the public's opinion kind of like sways, and kind of thinks that he should do it, and I'd be like, I don't think anyone would do that. But then I didn't think anyone would vote to leave the EU, so what do I know?
To be fair, I can imagine the public voting, saying he should do it, but it's the kind of thing that is very high and mighty. Oh yeah, I think he should do it, but if they were in that situation, they would never do it themselves, sort of thing. But to be fair, it's been a long time. Like I've watched it once when it first came out, so I can't really remember too much of the nitty gritty details. I can remember liking the very, very end bit where the guy has actually released the princess before he had sex with the pig. So
I like that.
They have to do it because the princess was already released anyway, but they obviously didn't know that. I kind of like that twist. I was like, oh, that's kind of interesting because it kind of is this whole kind of thing of, oh, he didn't have to do that, but he's got to live with that now for the rest of his life that he had sex with a pig.
Yeah, I didn't like the bit at the end where he's like in the house, and I think he's still in Downing Street with his wife, and his wife's just like refusing to talk to him.
Yeah,
and you just think like, are you jealous of a fucking pig or something? Like, that seemed really weird to me. I was like, what? Like in this world, that was the only choice that he had. Or I don't know. I didn't buy it. I just didn't buy it. That was my thing. I just didn't buy that would happen. Whereas in most of them, you can kind of see kind of the progression to what's going on.
Yeah,
I just didn't at all.
I think that's it. With these Black Mirror things, you buy into it or you don't. I think that's it.
I think if you don't, that's kind of it, isn't it? For the episode?
Yeah, for those episodes. Yeah, if you just don't believe that that's something that could happen, then you just kind of you just sort of stranded and you're just sort of watching it. And like even the ones I've not bought into that much, I've watched the entirety of, but because to be fair, it's still probably better than most things on TV. But
yeah, it is.
Yeah, if you don't really buy into it, it can be, because they're quite long episodes as well. It can be a bit of a struggle if you don't always.
That was a drag for me.
Initially buy straight into the premise of the episode.
Yeah. And another one I didn't particularly buy was the Waldo moment.
Yeah, I think this one might be my bottom one, maybe. Again, it's sort of one that the premise started and I went, okay, yeah, I can see this a little bit. And then it just lost me about halfway through. I
got lost right at the start when I was like, people find this thing funny.
Oh, yeah, that definitely.
I was like, this isn't, like, nothing it's doing is funny in the slightest. It's just like saying swear words. And then, like, the politicians point it out, and I was like, I kind of agree with the politicians here.
Yeah,
like, I didn't buy the people siding with a cartoon at all, because I was like, it's not being funny or clever, it's just swearing at people and doing knob jokes. And like, I kind of get the point that it's like saying people are fed up of, but it's like, oh, people are fed up of real things, they just want knob jokes. I find like one that's quite an insulting view on the general public.
Yeah.
But yeah, again, didn't buy it. And yeah, it didn't really say anything interesting to me either, because I hate when people say, oh, people are disillusioned with this, people aren't interested in politics. I'm like, well, be interested in politics then. Take an interest in politics rather than just give in to knob jokes.
Yeah,
it just kind of irked me a little bit. It kind of irritated me.
Yeah, I think if the character had been genuinely a funny character, then it could have worked a bit better, because like I didn't really. There's a bit where because it's a guy playing the character, where he does kind of go, because he puts his voice on, he just sort of go off on a rant, and he kind of uses his own voice for a minute, like he slips out of it. And I was like, that's kind of an interesting idea. I mean, what he was saying was still just, oh, all politicians are bad. If he'd said something a bit more interesting there, that could have been really cool. If he'd sort of, been this kind of character, and then in that moment had just said his own thing and done his own frustrations, and then people had gone, actually, that kind of makes sense. And then it had gone that way. It kind of really, but then he just started to roll back into poo and stuff, and yeah, it's sort of something you don't like. People taking it seriously, you can't imagine like that, because people voted for Donald Trump, but at least Donald Trump's a person and he stands for something. Whether you agree with what he stands for or you don't, if you agree with him, you're going to vote for him, whereas this animation didn't stand for anything. Yeah. The general public are stupid, but don't think they're that stupid. I hope they're not that stupid.
Yeah. I kind of keep saying this, and I'm like, oh, actually, this happened, so maybe they are.
I don't know. And the end's really weird. The very end is very bizarre.
Yeah, it is bizarre.
Where he decides he doesn't want to be this. The guy who plays the character decides he doesn't want to be this character anymore, and he goes off on one. And then suddenly it kind of cuts. It goes to the end, and then in between the credits, it goes him like living on the streets, and you just think, what? It was like, why has he suddenly become homeless? Like, why would he? There's no kind of real. He seemed like quite an intelligent guy. Yeah, he might not be like really successful, but you can kind of go, oh yeah, I'm sure he could go and work in a subway or something. And like, why is he up on the streets? And then Waldo is like everywhere as like an image. That little animated character is everywhere, and how long is this in the future, and why is it everywhere? It didn't really explain what that was trying to do.
I wasn't a fan.
No, I wasn't. I didn't dislike it. I kind of thought it was trying to say an interesting thing. It just didn't say it very interestingly.
Yeah.
Or very articulately. Which was maybe the point. Maybe the point he was going, oh, I don't want to say it articulately. I just want to say fart jokes and stuff. But
yeah, I think that was the point. But I just find that like a really annoying attitude to politics.
Yeah,
so for me, it's kind of like, I'm not interested in this, because I find people like that incredibly annoying.
Yeah, it's really like, because rather than saying, oh, I disagree with your politics and here's why and this is what I believe in, you just go, no, poo, no, I'm not going to listen to you, poo. That's basically what I was doing, and that I think is really, really irritating, because you're just going, that's just so stupid. You can't say, no, I don't like your opinions, but I'm not going to tell you what I think, because politics is for stupid people. Politics is stupid.
Yeah.
I think maybe if you're a person that's like that and just hates politics and is going to like shout about it, maybe you'd really enjoy this episode. But I think you're an actual person who believes politics matter, then it's kind of like a frustrating thing to sit there and watch. But again, maybe that's the point. Maybe you're supposed to be sat there and frustrated watching it, because there's no no doubt that Charlie Brooker's not an intelligent guy and obviously has strong political views. So
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know either.
That's funny. Yeah, it's funny, irritating. Do you
Pretty
want to know
much.
what's next?
I do want to know what's next. I already know what's next.
The next next 5 could really kind of be in any particular order.
Yeah,
for
I agree
me.
with that.
Because these are all ones that I enjoyed, but didn't kind of. These are all the ones that I kind of enjoyed, but they didn't necessarily like make me think about anything.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So I've got 15 Million Merits, which is the X Factor one, where the guy's brother, or they sort of everyone has to cycle to produce energy for some reason. That we're never really told, are we? I don't
No,
think.
we're not. No, again, this is one because this is season 1. I watched this one when it first came out, so I'm a bit hazy on this one.
Yeah, so he basically gets all this money left by his brother, and he hasn't spent it, and he hears this girl singing in a toilet, and decides to pay 15 million merits to let her enter what is sort of their version of the X Factor, which sort of lets people try and find sort of some sort of kind of. It's the only way that these people can really get success, I guess, in this sort of world where all they do is cycle and earn credits, which they can then buy stuff with. And the girl kind of gets through to the sort of judges stage, which not everyone does. Everyone, like, people end up waiting there like years and months and stuff. So she gets through, sings to them, and they all say she's good, but she's not like that great. And if she wants to be successful, she like has to be or she takes like a drink, doesn't she, that makes her sort of susceptible to not mind control, but like suggestion and stuff, I think.
Okay, yeah.
And they suggest that pressure her into basically becoming a porn star. And the guy kind of has like a crush on her, and obviously like sees all this stuff, which makes him very upset. And he kind of then infiltrates the audition process and threatens to kill himself while he delivers like quite a moving monologue. And so as a result of that, they give him his own TV show where basically he holds a piece of glass to his neck and delivers monologues. And he gets to live in a nice fancy sort of apartment and stuff because of it.
Yeah, I remember it now. Yeah.
So I enjoyed this one, but it didn't really. It's kind of one of those things where it kind of said something again that I already kind of knew in a way. It's like, okay, yeah, people who strive for success then basically get there and sell out. It's basically kind of what it's saying, I think.
Yeah, pretty much. And as you say, it's one that you already know. You know what it's saying straight away, and it kind of has a one level sort of thing, and that's like, okay, cool, yeah, I enjoyed that for what it is, but I don't think, in the kind of, I haven't gone back and watched it again, so, but I remember I remember liking it at the time.
Yeah, it's quite good. I did like it. I did like how he sold out as well. Actually, it was quite interesting because he was like, he basically had a go at everyone for kind of doing that and like manipulating people and stuff, and then he ended up selling out for his own sort of benefit, which is kind of the point. And it's quite, I quite like that. Quite a good ending.
Yeah, it's definitely like a good thing to do because I think a lot of like Black Mirror's like that, though, isn't it? That it makes a statement. The characters don't always do what you expect them to do, and it kind of leaves a bit of a bitter taste in your mouth at the end of it.
Yeah,
because you're going, I thought he was supposed to be the good guy, and he's just sort of.
People always disappoint you, Matt.
Kind of, yeah,
that's the story of this.
That's kind of what a lot of them do well. Like these ones that maybe only have one level. This is the message we're saying, and pretty early on what it is saying. They do usually have something like that at the end where there is a resolution or a little bit of a twist, or there's a story going on that gets to a climax sort of thing, I suppose. Didn't seem to have anyway.
Yeah. So that kind of ties nicely to the next one on my list, which is Entire History of You, which is where everyone kind of has these like implants in their necks that allows them to basically record and rewatch everything that's happened in their lives, and it basically follows this guy as he sort of realizes his wife has cheated on him with an ex-boyfriend and stuff, and then he there's a really horrible bit where he makes her sort of re-show him sort of the sex tape and stuff, and then there's a point where he realizes that his daughter is, or might be, I think it's implied that she is this other guy's child rather than his own. I think this one was generally quite well done, but and it kind of really showed that sort of jealousy stuff really well, and like that paranoia, and how that paranoia can drive you like completely insane, and kind of wanting to know the truth about someone and not trusting people can turn you completely insane, and kind of knowing that if you had access to everyone's memory as it happened, you kind of don't need to trust people because you can just replay it. I thought that was interesting way to see it. But my issue with this is like, everyone in it was like totally unlikable. I was just like, I don't care about any of you, and I wish you'd all die.
Yeah. Like, I'm enjoying this one. I'm enjoying the concept of this one when I watched it, because it is a really cool idea because like so much of what you remember sort of gets distorted in the way that you want it to be swung. You can sort of push yourself into believing a certain thing because you can never remember every single tiny little detail, and you start going, did that happen? Did I see that? Did I see that little detail, or am I making that up? So it kind of takes that aspect out of it and goes, well, what if you could go back and look at all those little details? And it's sort of in a way going, it would actually be worse, because little insignificant things you would like read a lot into. So I think that's really, really, really cool, like aspect of it. And I see the paranoia. Definitely the episode does fall down on you don't really like any of the people. Even if you really like the main character, that would be all right. But if you like idiots, because you don't really like the main character that much by the end either, it's sort of, I agree with you that it kind of loses a bit of its impact because you don't really like if you really like the main character and then you find out his wife's cheated on him and maybe the baby's not his and stuff.
You sort of feel sorry for him, but you kind of don't.
Feel sorry for him. Yeah, if you don't like him, you just go, oh, well, she's not a good person, he's not a good person. Maybe they're made for each other, whatever.
Yeah, don't care. Next episode. Next one was, and again, this is sort of any order really for the next three. Hated in a Nation, which was the one where the tiny little bees could fly into people's brains and kill them.
Oh, see, actually, I'd have this one further up. I think just because I didn't buy the whole bee thing.
Yeah, no, I didn't.
I think that was it. I think it could be a great episode. Like, the performances are really, really good. It's shot really nicely. It doesn't really feel like that much of a... Like, the way it's going, this is what we're saying, it wasn't too in your face, I don't think. And then... But the thing with the bees is quite distracting.
Yeah, I really didn't like that. I thought like what he was doing was quite clever, but I don't think they handled it particularly well.
Yeah, sort of.
So I really like the concept, but I didn't like the execution. Yeah,
I think they kind of went, I've got this really cool idea. Like, what if somebody was killing people based on public vote and demand and everything, but they don't really know that they're doing it, and it's sort of... And then I'm going to kill all of the people that voted to say to them, look, like you've written all this stuff, this horrible stuff, because you think it's a game, and you actually killed people. Look how much of a horrible person you are. But they couldn't kind of think of a good way for the villain to kill people. So they sort of invented this contrived way, while also, I think, attempting to make a statement about bees dying, which I thought was really weird and like out of place.
It was a bit odd.
We've got this kind of really cool crime mystery thriller sort of thing, and by the way, all the bees are dying, guys. Need to save the bees. Right, back to the story. That's what it was like.
Yeah, actually, thinking about it, it would be higher up my list, actually. Now I thought about it again. I did kind of forget about the twist at the end where he was like, yeah, I'm going to kill you as well.
Yeah, I think once I kind of really forced myself to look past the bees. I think because I really enjoyed the first half an hour before you realise it is the bees.
Yeah.
I kind of really enjoyed it, and then the bees came, and I was like, oh, this is a little bit stupid, but I'm actually really enjoying this, and I think the acting's really good and everything, so I'm going to tune out the bees and just focus on everything else.
Yeah.
But people have really raved about this episode, I know. And I think it could be great, but the bees kind of put me off it a bit.
Yeah, no, same. Yeah, I think I liked it more actually now that I thought about it than... Yeah, I think I'd move that up my list. I think I prefer it to the next one anyway, which is Men Against Fire, which is the episode where like the army are basically killing things they think are what they call roaches, which like weird kind of mutant things. And it turns out they're not mutant things. They're real people.
Well, the real people, aren't they? But who are like susceptible to disease or pedophilia or things like that. I really liked I really liked the concept of this one, and for a lot of it, I didn't know where it was going. I think that's kind of what I liked about it as well. That they're going, okay, what's he trying to say here? What's he trying to tell me? And for a while, you don't kind of 100% realize what that is. So when you do, you kind of going, oh, okay, that's kind of cool. And the idea that it's brainwashing soldiers and people into disliking a minority and convincing them that they need to go and kill them and everything is quite cool.
Yeah, it's cool. It's very, very current.
Yeah, exactly. So I
with
like that.
Like Syrian refugees, you look at like kind of what the Daily Mail spread about the Syrian refugees and stuff. And you think that's exactly what this is. This is just propaganda, basically saying these aren't real people. They're vermin. They're people who are sponging off as people who are sort of dragging the race down.
Yeah,
and that's pretty much what's going on here. So yeah, no, I'd enjoyed that one as well. Actually, maybe I'd move that one higher up. Now I'm thinking about it, I actually do enjoy a lot of them.
I really the end was quite good as well, with the fact that the soldier kind of finds out that they are real people, and that he at first he doesn't really think about the implications that he's killed them, and then they replay him killing this poor human who's begging him to not kill him and stuff because he just thought he was this creature, and they say, okay, we can lock you in a cell and put that on repeat for the rest of your life, watch you stabbing this man to death, or you can have your memory wiped, get your implant back in so that you think they're all evil again, and go back into the field and kill more of them. And he agrees to have his mind wiped and everything. And again, it's another one that leaves a bit of like a bitter taste in your mouth, and you go.
But I think you can kind of understand that decision though. In a horrible way.
I think that's what's good about that episode, actually, that you like the main character because he's morally a good guy, but then at the end you go, oh man, but that's the wrong decision, but I can see why you've done that, sort of thing. So I thought, I think there's a lot of like wasted space in that episode towards the beginning. It goes on for quite a long time, and it's a bit ponderous at the beginning, and you're kind of not sure where it's going. I think that's what's the issue with that one. But then when it gets going, I think it's quite a good episode. Yeah,
it's good. I think I'd probably put the last two that we talked about higher up.
Yeah.
Probably higher than the next one. Yeah, no, I would definitely. Which is Nosedive, which is the first episode of season 3, which is all about
Instagram
getting likes. Pretty much.
See, this one. My problem with this one is that I didn't dislike it. I thought it had a really nice aesthetic. It was shot very nicely. It was acted well. The production design of it was really, really nice. It was just it was so one-dimensional.
It was.
Within the first 5 minutes, I was like, okay, that's what it's saying. End of the film. Okay, I knew 5 minutes in what that was saying. It didn't.
Yeah.
it didn't surprise me at all, which I think you kind of come to expect with Black Mirror, that it will surprise you in some sense. And also, I was saying this to you at the weekend, this is actually surprisingly like a short film that I made.
Charlie Brooker ripping you off again.
Yeah, it's ripping me off. I mean, my short film's bad because I made it when I was like 16, but it even ends in the same ways as that piece of technology and preferring to be in a prison cell away from it all and finally feeling free even though they're in a prison cell.
Yeah.
So I think Charlie Brooker's seen my short film.
I did quite like the message of this one, though.
I liked it, but...
Where it's sort of like, yeah, it's just really pathetic. I quite like that it was very obvious, because it's a very obvious thing. It's like, yeah, this is an obvious thing, and like most people don't seem to be able to see it because they can't walk down the street without whipping the phone out. It's just... It's something that I'm really kind of... something that really kind of irks me is when people just sit on a phone just like scrolling. Like, it's fine if you're doing something, if you're reading something, fine. But when people just sit and sort of scroll through stuff, just endlessly for no reason, just. I mean, if you're going to talk to someone, have interaction with someone, fine. But it's like, oh, let's check Facebook every 2 seconds. Let's check Twitter every 2 seconds. It's weird because it's like an instant sort of gratification method, isn't it? When you get a like, it's like, oh, I've got a like. I'll check back in another 5 minutes, see if I've got another like or a thing. And it's just that sort of really sad kind of like addiction. And it's really annoying as well, because there's nothing more annoying than when you're like walking down the street, someone's walking towards you, and they're on your phone, and you just know they're just not going to see where you are at all. Oh, it's fine. I find it really irritating when people just glued to it. You think, just look around you. Just look around. You don't need it.
No, you don't. I think because there's a scene in that film where she's road trip. She's had to hitchhike, and she's with somebody else, and like the acting was good, but it was just a woman basically saying the whole message of the film to her, and I was like, oh, it'd be so much interesting if she kind of figured all that out on her own about how she doesn't need it in her life to be happy and everything, and that like real things are better than, you know, fake friends and fake likes on Twitter and everything. I want you to be surprised by it, and it just, you know, as I say, I'm obviously mine's short film is nowhere near this level of it, but I feel like my short film said the message in like 10 minutes, and it said the same message.
Yeah, we didn't need that amount of time.
It didn't need to be that length for what it was trying to say. I think it could have either said something else or just been a bit shorter, I think.
Yeah. Speaking of keeping stuff short, should we move on?
Yeah, let's move on.
Next, I have Playtest, which is a horror game sort of thing, implant thing.
Yeah, see, I would put this one much lower than you've got it.
I think I probably just ended on like a high. I think I would put this below most of the ones we've just spoken about, I think. Yeah, maybe.
I don't know, maybe I wasn't paying attention to it, or it's because I'm not really into horror stuff. I just didn't really buy it that much. I just thought, oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, now I'm thinking about it again, I'm sort of thinking there's not a lot we can kind of say about this. It's just the guy goes through a horror game test, and it's sort of also kind of psychologically based.
Yeah, I like that aspect
horror.
of it. And to be fair, I really enjoyed this, which sounds really stupid, before it got to the Black Mirror-y stuff.
Yeah.
Like the stuff with him, like meeting people and travelling around and meeting that girl and stuff. I was like, oh, this is actually really well acted, and it's really well written. It's really really nicely done. And then it started with the horror stuff, and I was just going, oh, okay, this is kind of interesting. And then it just turned into full-on horror, and I was like, oh, I'm not really interested anymore about this. I didn't because it just wouldn't happen in real life. Do you know what I mean? I know we've got like VR coming out, but a company wouldn't like start killing people just to progress their virtual reality stuff.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It didn't really. Again, it was one of those ones that I didn't believe that would happen in real life. I think. Like, they wouldn't brain damage people just for their own, business and everything. I think.
No, true. I think I just put it there because it's Kurt Russell's son, and he's really cool.
He is really cool. And he's really good. He's really good in.
I think I just like watching him.
Yeah, he's really good in this. He's good in 22 Jump Street. He's good in Everybody Wants Some. I think it was really, really well acted. Again, it's just let down a bit by kind of the ending and the story and stuff. It's like, okay, yeah, that's that.
Fine. I was really like shocked at the end though, and quite upset. I was like, oh man, that was depressing.
Yeah, I think
that's kind of why I put it quite high, because I was genuinely like, it did give me that shock factor at the end.
Yeah, actually, to be fair, I probably didn't get the best experience of this because I was watching it and it kind of got to all the horror stuff and I sort of switched off because I'm not really into horror that much, and the horror bit went on for a little bit too long for me.
Yeah.
And I think we went and had tea, so I paused it and then I came back to it the next day, and so I maybe that's why I didn't have as good an experience playing that game. As that one as kind of other people did, because I remember seeing the end actually and going, oh, okay, yeah. But maybe because I'd split it up, I didn't really care that much.
Yeah, true. All right.
Next on the list.
Top 5. Number 5, San Junipero.
Yeah, just mutter it.
San Junipero. That one where there's a sort of online reality where you can basically upload yourself, and you can live forever when you die in this online place. And it's about two sort of elderly people who meet when they're both dying, aren't they? And
yeah,
I thought this was really cool. This is such a cool concept.
I thought it was incredibly cool. Again, because I figured it out quite early on, but it wasn't like I figured it out because it just slapped me in the face with what it was.
Yeah.
I think that's nice. I don't mind figuring it out early on if I've done it from my own sort of going, okay, what could be going on?
Because I'm a genius.
No, yeah, pretty much. But you know what I mean? In sort of if I hadn't figured it out as earlier on, I still would have really enjoyed it. I think it didn't matter that if you figure it out, you figure it out. If you don't, you don't, sort of thing. And you kind of piecing the bits together yourself rather than it saying, this is exactly what this is and everything. I really enjoyed the concept and the episode. The only thing I kind of didn't buy as much about this one was the fact that they fell in love so quickly. I think that's the only thing I didn't buy.
Maybe
in this episode,
I kind of bought it all.
That was the only bit that happened a little bit too quickly for me. It just sort of. They met a second time, and then she was obsessed with her and in love with her, and that was the only thing that. Yeah,
but I suppose if you're dying, you probably have a slightly different perspective.
Yeah, very true, very true. And she obviously she turns out she's been paralyzed all her life and everything. Yeah, I think that's it. It's like I did buy their relationship. It was just kind of the I thought maybe it could have been a little bit longer, but I think as a whole thing, it was really, really great, and it didn't over-explain what was going on, which I really liked.
And happy ending.
And a happy ending, yeah. It did have a happy ending, actually.
That was nice.
It was nice.
Unlike the next episode.
I think I'd put this further up than you've got it. I think I'd put this at number 3, I think, or 2,
One
maybe.
space. White Bear.
No, maybe White Bear.
Which is... Go on.
This is an episode you don't know what's going on until the very end, I think. I don't think you'd ever call this episode.
No, I was watching this going, oh, she's, do you know the picture of the girl?
Yeah.
I was like, oh no, she's actually still the girl. Oh, that's her, she's the girl. That's not her daughter, she's definitely the girl. And I was just like, I had loads of just crazy theories that were just way, way off. So this is the episode where basically the woman is, or it's sort of revealed at the end that she was part of a crime in which her boyfriend killed and then burnt a girl, and she recorded it on her phone.
Yeah.
So, as kind of punishment, what they do in this sort of alternate reality is make them relive the crime that they committed, basically. But the big reveal at the end is that they've not just done it once; they keep doing it and keep doing it and keep doing it, which is pretty remarkable.
Yeah.
Pretty, like, that bit at the end was just like, oh shit, that's. Because you kind of think that you're kind of with the crowd for most of it, going like, haha, yeah, you deserve this. Once you know what's going on and once you know what she did, you're kind of like, yeah, you deserve this. Because you've gone from basically, like, the first part is like, oh, why are these people being really, like, doing these horrible, horrible things? Humanity are just horrible people. Like, this isn't even like a stretch. You kind of can see that people would kind of do this, because people do this. People do film horrible things on their phone and don't intervene about it. And then you kind of go from, like, being on her side and being as, like, confused as she is to being, oh, she's a scumbag, she deserves that. And then going back to, like, oh, I don't know, is this okay? Is this...
Yeah.
Is this okay?
It's definitely, like, this is one that has a very powerful message to it, and it doesn't kind of try and tell you either way which is right and which is wrong, which is always cool. And I think it's what you can talk about with people and say, well, what did you think about that?
Well, what did you think about that?
Well, again, I've not seen this since it first aired. I can just remember being, like, shocked and just being like, oh my, again, like you say, is that right? I mean, she, like, killed that kid, which is horrendous, but does she deserve this?
Yeah.
Does she deserve this endless suffering? But then you kind of go, but she did kill that kid, so
yes,
she does. But then you feel like horrible because the audience are portrayed as such a horrible bunch of people that you feel like if you say, oh, she deserves that, you're like one of them.
But you also think, like, if she's got no memory of doing it, is that actually a punishment?
Well, yeah, because she kind of figures it out, doesn't she? And
yeah, but if she's like, is it justice if you wipe her memory? I don't know. It's kind of it's a weird kind of.
Yeah, because the way I saw it was kind of her realization that she had done that.
Yeah, but then she doesn't ever sort of have to come to terms with it, because it's reset each time.
Yeah, true.
I don't know. Makes you think, doesn't it?
Yeah,
that's why it's a good episode. That's why it's number 4.
That is why it's number 4. Could possibly be higher.
Yeah, maybe it could be higher. Number 3 is Shut Up and Dance. Or as I've been calling it, the pedo one.
The pedo one. Well,
which is... do you want to summarise this one? Can you remember it?
Yeah, I watched this one recently, so I can remember this one. There's a kid. He's a really good actor, actually. He played Alan Turing, the young Alan Turing in The Imitation Game. He's a really good actor. And he seems like a really likeable guy. He's quite shy, quite down to earth. Just works at this, like, fast food joint thing. Has an annoying sister. We can all relate to that. He goes, he's sat there chilling out, watching TV, goes into his bedroom, decides, oh no, his sister's on his computer and she's downloaded some stuff onto it, and he tries to clear it and everything, and then, the next evening decides to go in his bedroom and do what teenage boys do in the evenings, and, watches some naughty videos. And then it turns out somebody's used his webcam to record him doing that, and starts saying, if you don't do what we tell you to do, then we're gonna put this on the internet, we're going to share it with everyone, we're going to tell your mum, and all this sort of stuff. And at first you go, yeah, you probably won't want that video out there, would you? So you might listen to these people.
Awkward,
and so he listens to what they say. So he has to wait around. Some guy delivers a cake to him. He has to take the cake to somebody else, which is Bronn from Game of Thrones. And then they're told they have to go together.
Cockney accent.
With a great Cockney accent. Then
My name's Bronn.
they have
Very
to
good
go
Dick Van
somewhere
Dyke.
together, and then they go, and then it turns out they want them to rob this bank, and at that point you start going, you're only doing what all teenage boys do. Why are you robbing a bank for?
Yeah, just get it over and done with.
That,
Let it get out there.
so socially awkward. Yeah, because he's so socially awkward. You just think, oh, he's just like maybe he just can't face that because he's so shy anyway, and everything. And then he robs the bank, and they take the money to
Weeds himself, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does weed himself. They take the money to this location. They get to location, and there's another guy there, and basically they both get a text. Like Bron's gone home at this point. They get a text saying, "You've got to fight to the death, and whoever wins gets this money." Somehow he kills this other guy. I don't like. That was one part I didn't buy. I was like, that guy's well bigger and crazier. He definitely would have killed him.
Yeah.
And then basically we get this montage and see that the person that's been doing this whole thing has just released all the videos and all the evidence they had on everybody anyway. Even after, which is kind of like similar to the national anthem twist, in the fact that the videos are always going to get out there, but they still did all these horrendous things. And then you just kind of see the fallout for all the different people, like Bron's family shouting at him, wife shouting at him because he slept with a hooker and stuff. And then you see the main character, the guy, just walking down the street, and he gets a call off his mum saying, like, what have you done?
It's horrible.
They say you've been looking at pictures of kids. And that's, at first I thought I'd missed something. And then it kind of dawned on me, oh no, you're only finding out now that he was.
Well, there's a bit where the big guy says to him, like, how old were they? Before they fight.
Oh yeah, but I just thought he was, because he'd actually touched kids or something, hadn't he, I think, and that's why I just thought he was presuming at first that that it was the same sort of situation. and so you just get this, oh my god, and then he gets surrounded by police cars and you just think he did all that. Yeah, I think this is one of the ones where I was left with a proper bitter taste in my mouth at the end of it. I enjoyed the episode, and I thought the main guy was great in it. I didn't buy a lot of the other actors. I think that's maybe what would push this down to underneath White Bear for me, is that some of the actors, I didn't buy their performances. I bought all the motivations for them. Like, you can understand why Bron was doing what he was doing, But the main character's the only one that I actually thought, yeah, that's a believable performance.
Yeah,
But
I didn't really know why Bron did a funny accent.
Yeah, just
He couldn't really do it.
Yeah, just do your own accent, mate.
Yeah, maybe everyone was just scared of him being Bron.
Yeah, but no, the twist was kind of sickening. Yeah, I didn't. You feel kind of a bit uncomfortable after an episode like that. You feel a bit dirty.
Yeah, no, I do feel bad about saying I enjoyed the episode.
Yeah, because you kind of.
I'm not pedo. I'm not a pedo.
Because you're rooting for the guy, obviously.
Yeah.
Going.
It is a great bait and switch.
I mean, because you're kind of rooting for him, and then he has to kill or be killed, and you just think, oh, I don't want him to kill that guy. And then he's walking down this thing, and he's got the bag of money, and you just think, oh, he killed that guy. That's pretty bad. But did he have a choice? Not really, but he's still a murderer. Then you find out he, was touching himself to kids, and it just gets worse, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, pedo, worse than murderer.
Yeah.
That's what we say.
Well, a murderer in self-defense is, if you don't just go out and kill people.
Yeah.
But
that was another one though. I think a lot of these ones that I've liked is when I've kind of been totally thrown off the scent, and then be like, oh, okay, this is what you're saying. Now the rest of the episode kind of makes more sense. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, they have that kind of and I'm going to compare to kind of Nolan kind of films where you kind of you kind of think you know what's going on for the whole film, and then you kind of realise, oh, everything that now makes a lot more sense because of this.
Yeah, definitely.
It's really clever, like narrative.
Yeah, definitely.
Next one, second episode, and this is, I don't know why I put this high up, but I just really enjoyed this episode, and it's Be Right Back, which is the episode where with Donald Gleeson and Hayley Atwell in it, and maybe it's because it's like two really really good actors in it who I really like, which is maybe why it's as high as it is. And Hayley Atwell's like amazing in this, where Donald Gleeson is, I think they're married and she's pregnant, and he dies, and then she manages to kind of there's like this app or something you can get where you can recreate their kind of semi sort of consciousness, not really consciousness, but this kind of computer that can generate their side of a conversation based on their social, based on their internet kind of footprint, and then eventually she kind of gets a doll, like a weird kind of sex doll thing of him, like a robot of him, and it's almost like he's there, but it's like she's always like knows that he's not there. That's not him. It's like a weird fake version of him. And at the end of the episode, you kind of find out that she's had this daughter and stuff, and keeps her little doll in the loft. And it's just really sad and really like quite depressing. But then you kind of at the same time you're like, can you kind of blame her for that? Like,
yeah, exactly. It's sort of very similar themes to Her, the film with Joaquin Phoenix and
Scarlett
Johansson. In terms of the technology and stuff, obviously a bit different because you found it in a computer, whereas this is, you know, someone that you loved has died, and you kind of instinctively want to say, oh, that's a bit weird, but then you go, yeah, but if you were offered that, would you not go for that? Would you not do that?
Yeah, I like as well that she doesn't go for it at the start. She's like, she has a proper go at that woman.
Yeah, because she thinks it's a bit weird.
Off. Yeah, well, it is a bit weird, but then I suppose it's, yeah,
it is weird, but you kind of get it. I think that's what's good about. I think that's what good about this episode is that it's not just going, oh, here's this kind of odd thing. It makes you get why that person has done that, like made that decision, I think.
Yeah, I think there's one of the ones for me which was like just kind of a perfect bit of TV where I just kind of, for the whole episode, I was like, I totally get this. This is so well performed.
Yeah.
By the two characters. It did sort of last with me quite a lot. And the bit at the end where she's like she tries to get him to jump off the cliff and just can't kind of make herself do it. And it's not his fault because he's not a real person. He's just and she just ends up like really resenting this robot. Oh, it's really sad.
Yeah, because he can't be what she needs him to be because, exactly.
Yeah, sad.
Yeah, I'm going to rewatch that one as well, actually. That's another one I'm going to...
That's really good. Like, the two performances in it are really good as well. I think that's probably what does kind of... It's like a higher kind of calibre of actor, I guess, than...
Yeah, definitely, yeah. Yeah, obviously, this is before both of them went on to do... I mean, Donald Gleeson was kind of well-known, I think, and, you know, he was not that well-known unless you're in certain circles and stuff, but they're definitely both... It was definitely before both of them went on and did more impressive... Well, not more impressive things because they're very impressive in this, but like bigger things that got them more well-known.
Yeah. Best episode is...
Drum roll.
I can't do a drum roll. White Christmas, which I actually watched the other day in the morning, which is a weird time to watch this episode. I watched it about 8 o'clock in the morning, which was a bit weird. But speaking of
I think I watched it about 10 in the morning.
Yeah, it's kind of a weird one to watch at that time, but such a good episode. Like almost kind of feature length as well.
Yeah, because it was a one-off, wasn't it, for Christmas? Yeah, I really, really enjoyed this episode. I don't think it made me. It made me think. It didn't. I'm trying to think of the right words. It didn't. I don't know. For some reason, it didn't leave me with as a horrendous feeling as some of the other two we've just spoken about. Even though it kind of ends in quite a similar way, that you find out this guy's actually, well, neither of them that they're not nice people, but they've done
Bad things.
bad things. Yeah, it's so dense. It's such a dense episode. It's hard to know where to start.
I think I like the sort of the quiet guy. I love the way they kind of again it's kind of has that unfolding of narrative where you're told about his the guy John Hamm's playing, his business, about the little man in a computer, the little kind of conscious. Or they basically take your consciousness and put it into a computer that's like a backup or a copy of yourself, and you're kind of thinking this is going to be relevant somehow. And you realise obviously that him and
Yeah, but you don't know.
he's been kind of in it the whole time he's telling his story. He's talking to a guy who's in prison, and you kind of see how he ends up in prison and how his story. Like you kind of sympathise with him though. Like again, you kind of have this like, why is his girlfriend's being a dick to him, and he can't see his baby and stuff. There's like loads of different kind of layers in this, like blocking people and.
Yeah, I think
And kind of paternity rights and that and stuff like that, and like how easy it is to just kind of ignore people on social media and not deal with issues, just kind of block them, and that's it.
Yeah, I think definitely, as you say, the whole statement about paternity right and everything, and it just, I think what's good about this, and maybe good as a whole for the rest of the whole series, is it works best when the technology is not front and center.
Yeah,
It's sort of a ice to push narrative forward. It's not the point of the piece. I think that's when it works best, when it is there to serve a purpose. It's not just there going, okay, we've got this technology here because we need to make a statement about this particular thing. It's there to push everything else forward.
yeah.
Which I really, really liked.
It's it's one of those things where kind of I quite like it because I didn't feel like I turned on the main character because he killed his ex-girlfriend's dad.
No.
I kind of felt
'cause it's done
really
sort
sorry
of-
for him.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that bit when you realise it's not his kid is pretty. You thought, oh my God.
Yeah.
You just feel. But then it kind of also makes more sense about why she never came and spoke to him or anything, and just kept him blocked.
Yeah, because she didn't have to deal with the situation.
As well a bit more, because at first you just think, oh, she's been in it. Like, this is really unreasonable. Why would you? Like, I know he had a go at her and stuff, but just a fight. Why she just completely blocked him out of her life, had this baby, and then never spoken to him ever again. And then you kind of, when you realise it's not his kid, you go, oh, it's not right, but that kind of makes that make more sense now as well. And it's just really, really horrible feeling.
Yeah. It's not nice. And John Hamm's
and
character
even
as
the thing
well
with
has that extra sort of layer of him basically
Yeah,
watching
definitely.
a guy die and then not reporting it or anything, and how he's doing this basically to try and get this guy to confess, but using his technology of basically torturing this kind of copy of somebody, rather than the person himself get a confession out of this person who, or not this person, but this bit of information that has all their memories and experiences and stuff. It's a really cool concept, and just kind of leaving them for what feels like to them days and days and days, or years even, when it's not been any time. The bit at the end where they leave him in there on his own for like 1,000 years or something,
Yeah.
just to break them, is quite shocking. And then of course John Hamm at the end thinks he's kind of got away with it, and then he's just blocked by everyone.
Yeah. Because he's on some sort of register.
Yeah. Such a good episode.
It is such a good episode, and I think again, the most enjoyable thing about it, as I said, is that it's got a statement to make, but it's not. It's like the story's enjoyable. There's so many like twists and turns and pieces to put together, and the technology's not right in your face. It's just sort of, there in the background and everything, and that's what's good about it, because it kind of does well what other episodes do individually. Like the other episodes will have like a component of it that's done really well, or a couple. But this episode kind of brings
It's got it all.
most of those aspects together, like the good acting, the kind of realism, the believability, the message that it's trying to send. Just like everything kind of gets brought together in this episode, whereas in other ones, they'd kind of have one like good element, and then other parts of it might be a bit neglected or whatever.
Yeah. I think you're right.
Thanks. Good to know we agree.
I think that's it
What
for
about-
Black Mirror.
What about Twitter? Did Twitter have anything to say?
I was just going to get onto that.
Um,
Thanks for prompting me.
Good.
So I sort of asked everyone on Twitter what their favourite Black Mirror episodes were. Sarah Buddery on Twitter says Nosedive, White Bear and White Christmas.
Yeah, I mean, we thought Nosedive was okay, but
You didn't like it.
Personal
You thought it was
preference.
shit, didn't you?
no, by no means a bad episode. Just not one of my favourites.
Yeah, White Bear and White Christmas though, right up there
Yeah, we both
in our list. Ken Major 83 says the entire history of you, which we had quite low down actually.
We did have quite low down, but we said it wasn't like we enjoyed the episode. It was more just the fact that the people in the episode weren't particularly likable.
White Christmas, Shut Up and Dance, and Hated in the Nation. So episodes, they were all kind of all over our list, really.
Yeah, they were. I know. Hated in the Nation. We said we'd put a little bit higher now that we've spoken about it. And I know a lot of people have had a lot of love for that on Twitter and stuff. It's just, I think if you buy into the B thing, that episode's awesome.
Yeah, I think it is.
That's the only thing that let it down for me. So
Yeah.
be high.
Eddie Gardner says White Christmas blew my mind. I'm kind of right there.
Yeah, agree with that.
Agree with that. And also love Playtest and Nosedive. Best episodes of the latest season easily.
Ooh,
Controversial decision.
controversial talk.
What's it? Big talk.
No, it's a controversial talk, and it's in big talk. I'm not trying to start on.
Big chat.
Yeah.
Ryan, which is Ryan with 3 N's _13, says White Christmas, Shut Up and Dance, Sand, still don't know how to say it, and Hated in the Nation.
Yeah.
And they were right up there in ours. Agree with that.
Yeah.
Agree with that. And Plain Simple Tom says Shut Up and Dance, White Bear, White Christmas. Again, pretty high on our list as well.
The only one people haven't been saying is Be Right Back.
Yeah, I think.
For hours, but I don't know if it's because people have kind of forgotten.
Yeah, probably because it's not like that one where that guy was a pedo.
Yeah, it was not like a mind-blowing one, is it? You're not sat there going, oh, God, I remember that. Like, a lot of them people remember it for all the twists, and that one hasn't got a twist. But I'd encourage people to go and rewatch that one.
Good rewatch.
It's all on Netflix now, so.
Yeah, and HC Movie Reviews says, loving this as a topic, easily my favourite ever TV series. Big claim.
Big claim.
Best episode, in my opinion, is Shut Up and Dance. Devastatingly good.
It's a pretty apt description, to be fair.
It is devastatingly good. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's better than everything we've said all episode.
Yeah, pretty much. Maybe we should just cut the rest of it out and just put that in.
Just put Black Mirror, devastatingly good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Copyright problems.
No, just cut the bit out where you say that it's HC Movie Reviews that says that, and just put the bit in where you say it.
I'll just edit it in. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
Just for every episode.
Yeah.
And Chris, at Chris Movie Corner says White Christmas and Shut Up and Dance are the 2 best episodes of TV in recent years. Again, both really high on our list.
Yeah, both high.
I think that's it. That's all of the Twitter feedback.
All Twitter
feedback. Before we finish the show, I just want to say that we have been nominated by HC Movie Reviews for a UK Blog Award 2017. The details of which are on our Twitter, and I'll link it below as well. And if you've got a few spare minutes, then please give us a vote.
That'd be nice.
If you don't bother. Yeah, whatever. Do it or don't do it. Probably won't win anyway, so. And everything in life is pointless, so,
Pretty much.
whatever. Whatever, Matt. Where do you want to do your little bit?
A little bit, yeah. Check out the Fortnightly Forum podcast, guys. It's another podcast that I host with some of my friends where we talk about current affairs and modern life, and we have a good laugh generally. We have some pretty good banter. Banter bus rolls into town. Got a episode up at the minute. We are recording tomorrow, so there should be another one up about a similar time to this episode. So you can find us on iTunes and SoundCloud at the Fortnightly Forum podcast, and you can find us on Twitter at the Fortnightly Pod, and we're on Facebook and YouTube as well. Just Google the Fortnightly Forum podcast, and everything should come up. And check out my article on Arrival as well, because I think it's quite an interesting read, if I do say so myself.
Good stuff. Yeah, you can find that review or article or essay, whatever you want to call it, discussion piece, on the website, which is realfilmmoviereviews.wordpress.com. Quite a lot of new stuff up there at the moment, actually, and that's probably the best place to find everything, including our Clickbait TV series. That's not it. Let's Play series. And I'll also link that below on YouTube, and make sure to subscribe to us on YouTube. We're putting up all the podcast episodes up there as well, so that's probably the best place to find a lot of the new stuff that we're doing. We're on Twitter at realfilm_movies, on Facebook, Real Film Movies, also on iTunes. If you want to give us a subscribe, give us a review, that'd be cool. We're on SoundCloud, and if you really want to help us out, we're on Patreon. And I'll link all this below, so you can just click on it if you want, or if you don't click on it either. That's fine. That's the whole show. Should we do Westworld next week?
No, because there's no chance I'll have caught up on Westworld by next week. If I've caught up, we'll do Westworld.
It's only Monday.
If I'm not, we can do something else.
We do something else.
I'm not going to watch it. I don't have Sky anymore, and I'm not illegally streaming it, so
all right.
I'll have to find a way to watch it.
Star Wars a week after then, definitely though.
Yeah, is it on Now TV?
ITV.
I'm gonna Google it. Now TV.
Yeah, Westworld is. Your Sky Go's still working.
Okay.
Because I watched it on your Sky Go.
I might do that. How many episodes? I don't know how many episodes I've got. I don't binge it.
Do it tonight.
I'll suffer. Pretty much.
Pretty
Bye,
much.
everyone.
That's it. Bye, everyone. See you next week.
Bye.